Wake up! What's up guys, Ian here from Sleep Deprivation, back in Smite, and going to be talking about something that I talked about just a couple weeks ago. I released a video on Freya, and more importantly, Hastened Ring, and how both were shit. And surprise, surprise, recent patch came out last week, and now Freya is top tier. And I'm going to go into why that is. So starting off, let's pull up Hastened Ring here, because they changed it. Now, Hastened Ring, power is the same, attack speed the same, movement is the same, but they changed the passive. It used to be hitting an enemy god with a basic attack grants haste for 4 seconds, causing you to be immune from basic attack movement penalty, and the internal cooldown was 30 seconds. Now it's up to 6 with an internal cooldown of 25 seconds, meaning that the effect lasts much longer. So basically, for the most part, when Freya is going in with her 2, which we'll go to abilities here, which is her pulse, it lasts 6 seconds. So the hasten effect will be up for the entire duration of the pulse ability. And then you won't get it for the second one if you're spamming them back to back, but if you're using the pulse and then waiting another 25 seconds and going in again, you can get full effect just as if you had the regular Fatalis, except now with the added benefit that if you miss any of your shots, it's not going to be the worst thing in the world because it's up for the full seconds regardless. So yeah, that already was a wonderful buff to Freya. Then Freya herself also got a buff on her pulse of 10 base damage per strike on pulse. So instead of being, 20, 30, 40, 50, and 60, it's now 30, 40, 50, 60, and 70, which means her early game is a little bit better, and that higher base damage, it helps out a surprisingly large amount considering the fact that the scaling on it is only 15%. So here you've got a better Hasten Ring and better damage. So Freya is buffed quite a bit already, but that wasn't quite enough on its own to bring Freya to the top tier. There was actually a couple of other things. And I wrote myself little notes here. The demonic grip item. So I'll go up here and bring that up here in a second. Demonic Grip got changed as well. It lost power from 65 down to 40, but as we noticed, Freya doesn't have that great of scaling, so that's not that big of a deal. But it got 15% boost in attack speed from 15 to 30, so more attack speed on top of her better base damage with the improved Hasten Ring is looking really good for her, but that's not all. She also gets a mild buff that you don't really see. Oh, I forgot to mention, it is cheaper. It was 2,300 gold. It is now 2,150. So it's cheaper to build, more attack speed, great for Freya. Now, here's one of the big things that you may not realize that is actually kind of a buff for Freya. Bracer of Undoing has been nerfed again. It's down to 40%. So that means that it's not being bought as often as it used to be, which means people are not spamming to buy anti-heal as often as well, which helps Freya out a lot because it used to be with everyone getting Bracer, everyone was building anti-heal, and that indirectly nerfed Freya because not only does she have lifesteal on her passive, which you'll see here, abilities, just 15% lifesteal, but she tends to build lifesteal items, either Polynomicon or here, I'll just go in here for a second. So she tends to build Polynomicon or sometimes Bancrofts or sometimes both. So this honestly helps out Freya a lot because she's getting more attack speed, more base damage, a longer lasting hastened effect with a shorter internal cooldown, and her lifesteal is being countered less often due to the fact that less people are picking up Bracer of Undoing. So when you add all these things together, it's just making Freya come online earlier, do more damage earlier, do more damage overall, and do more lifesteal overall. So she just got a huge buff when on the surface, if you look at just the buff to her on her its own, it doesn't look that big. So yeah, it's really fun that I did a video saying that she was shit and Hastened Ring was shit, and now they're both buffed. And they're both, well, they've been banned pretty much every single game that I've played in Ranked so far. So that's fun. Anyways, who knows if this is going to continue or if people will figure things out, but Freya is in a really good spot right now. If she's not being banned or picked up in your ranked games, I don't know what is going on. Maybe you're just at a really high tier where, you know, you can play around it, or at a really low tier where people just aren't good enough to play her. I don't know. But she's doing good. Play her now while you can, because knowing HiRez, they'll probably just swing the Nerf bat again on one of these things and push her into the ground. Who knows? Anyways, I've been Ian from Sleep Deprivation. I hope you liked the video. If you want to check out that other one for some reason, I'll leave a link in the comments section. And once again, not the comment section, the description below. And you can go check it out. Alright, I'll see you guys next time. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, all that jazz, notification, squad stuff. You know, do it. I believe in you. You have the power.